Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a deck for the brand new Hiusian Decidueye V-Star. This is a new V-Star card that was revealed yesterday, and I think in compared to the other two Hiusian Star V-Star is definitely the worst. There was a mistranslation to the card, which I will mention, that made this card probably the best of the three Hiusian V-Star starters revealed. And now it's probably the worst, but nonetheless, it is still not a bad card, and it is a playable card at the very least, and it is definitely has some really cool attributes that I'm definitely excited to share with you guys. So let's just get right into the list for Hiusian Decidueye V-Star. It also does include the Galarian Zapdos as well. So like Hiusian Decidueye, kind of like a bird's deck. If you go starting off, we have of course our Hiusian Decidueye V-Star with a 3/3 line, and this Hiusian Decidueye V-Star, its first attack and only attack for a fighting energy and 2 colorless energy. You deal 160 damage, but then you can discard up to 3 basic energy cards from your hand, and it does 30 damage for each one you discarded. So that caps out at 250 if you discard 3 basic energy cards. Now, the mistranslation that did occur was it allowed you to discard 3 of any cards, which was incredibly powerful. Just being able to discard any 3 cards you want from your hand, deal 250 damage just from discarding 3 cards for essentially 2 energy attachments because of a double turbo on a 2 prize or save 1. So that was pretty nuts, but of course it was mistranslated and people realized that it was only basic energy that you can discard, not just any cards you want, which made it significantly worse. But it does make up for it with the V-Star power, and the V-Star power is called Wind Cloud Star, that allows you to just once a game draw until you have 8 cards in your hand. So without having to play a support card, you can just drop cards into your hand. Now, Hiusian Decidueye V is not half bad either. It has 2 attacks. The first one, for a single fighting energy, you deal 0 damage, but you just get to search your deck for any 2 cards that you want. This is like Crammer V's Beak Catch. That allows you to search for any 2 cards you want. It can be nice if you are in a little bit of pickle, still struggling to set up. This can help you get there. And then the second attack, we're fighting at double colorless as well. Same attack cost as the V-Star. You deal 100 damage, and then you go through all effects. So Decidueye, Duraludon, you just go straight through all of that. Now, of course, we do have to play an engine, and we are running in this specific build a Cinccino engine because it does allow you to discard cards in your hand, and it gets more cards, helping you build up fighting energy into your hand. And its attack for a single energy deals 40 damage, and then accelerates a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon, which is not bad actually. Just dealing 40 damage that can help you clean up knockouts from your Hiusian Decidueye V, as well as accelerating energy to another Hiusian Decidueye V as well. So not only does it draw you cards, it's also its first and only attack on the Cinccino can actually be pretty useful as well. And even the Minccino is good. This is a new Minccino that we are getting in Brilliant Stars in a couple days. And it is Call for Family that searches your deck for 2 base Pokemon, puts them directly on your bench. So that can be nice for setting up your Cinccinos or your Decidueyes if you have to. Now I mentioned we're running the Galarian Zapdos. We're running 2 copies of it. This is probably seen the least play out of the baby Galarian Bird Trio. It has the same ability as the Moltres and the Articuno. Strong Lace Charge. When you bench it, attach 2 fighting energy from your hand to it. And then its attack for double fighting and a colorless Zapper Kick. You do 70 damage, which might seem like not that much damage, but we'll get to that in a minute. And if you discard all energy from it, then you can instantly paralyze your opponent's side of Pokemon, and it is for your treat. So this is great. Just being able to either just clean up as something that your Hiusian Decidueye V-Star hit, or just hits for 70, paralyze your opponent, and if they don't get out of it, you can potentially just knock them out with a Hiusian Decidueye V. Either way, it's good for cleaning up and setting up knockouts, and that paralysis is really, really good in combination with the new Roxanne supporter card that does reset your opponent down to 2 prize cards if they have 3 prize cards or fewer remaining. And since if your opponent knocks out a Cinccino and Decidueye, or 2 Decidueyes, they are down to 3 or 2 prize cards left, and then this you can Roxanne them all the way down to 2, and then this Zapdos can come in and paralyze and hope they don't get out of it. We play one more Pokemon, and I will just scoot this up so we have room for it, and that is 2 copies of Lumineon V, because this can search out your supporter cards, and we just need a way that's like an easily way to get out of a brick from a quick ball, so we're running 2 copies of Lumineon V. This can search out your Marnies, your Researchers, your Boss, your single Raihan, your Clara, because we do run 2 Clara, which is really combos really nicely with the Zapdos, but also combos really nicely with the Decidueye because you get back your energy. So like you can either play Clara to get back your energy with the Decidueye, or get back energy and dispense with Zapdos. So yeah, we're playing 3 Marnie, pretty standard. 2 Research, not as standard, but we do have a Lumineon to search them out. But if you do want to add a 3rd Research, definitely would like that. 2 copies of Boss's Orders, because we need to be able to gust our opponents. And if we can just have enough basic energy cards in our hand and the start of our turn, we can just attach to our Decidueyes and then turn to Boss something up, at least get a hit on it, even if we don't have any basic energies in our hand to take a knockout on it. We still can just hit it for 160, which is a respectable amount, just 2-shot everything. So 250 will only really come to play versus V-Stars and Pokemon V. I think like VMAXs, it's really hard to reach a 1K on a VMAX, which is that's the reason we have really in Zapdos. But just hitting for 160, 2K almost everything is nice. I mentioned the Clara. It combos nicely with your Decidueye, getting back energies for that attack, but also combos nicely with your Zapdos, being able to get back energies to just bench the Zapdos, get those energies on it, like in the Moltres Dark Box decks currently. 2 copies of Roxanne, which is the new supporter card that you can only play if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining. And it says, both players shuffle their hand to the deck. You draw 6 cards, and your opponent draws 2. So this in combination with Paralysis from Zapdos is really, really powerful. And something that is definitely worth, I think, keeping a watch out for if you're either playing this deck or playing against this deck, or just like maybe this deck isn't great. Maybe it's just something you want to consider. Maybe it is a okay deck just because of this Roxanne Zapdos combo. 1 copy of Raihan, so we can accelerate 2 Decidueye in 1 turn after something gets knocked out. We can Raihan, double turbo, and there we go. Item cards for Quick Ball, fairly standard. We want to be able to get out our Magino's turn 1, our Decidueye turn 1, all that stuff. 3 Evolution Incense. We're also getting out our multiple evolutions. The way we draw cards is with Minccino, which is an evolution, and our attacker is Decidueye, which is an evolution. Also, Ultra Ball can get evolutions, but also our nice basic Pokemon that we do need to set up turn 1 as well. 2 Level Ball, because it does search out our Chinchinos, which of course is our draw engine. 2 copies of Choice Belt, which can help our Decidueye reach 280 before double turbo energy. So to just have a flat 3 fighting energies on your Decidueye, you can hit 280 with Choice Belt. Now I don't have Lucario V-Star or Lucario V and V-Star in this deck. I definitely think a 1-1 line of Lucario V-Star or a 2-1 line of Lucario V-Star because of the old Champion's Path Lucario, which I believe for 1 fighting energy does 40 damage and then 20 damage from your opponent's bench. So I think if you want to include like a 2-1 or 1-1 line of Lucario V-Star with Champion's Path Lucario, that could be really nice for the V-Star Lucario. Can 1-hit KO things, having a multiplier of 70 for each of your opponent's energy in play, and just an attack being very similar to Hiusian Decidueye. So if you don't have the discard cards from your hand, yeah, I think if you want to add like Lucario for like setting up knockouts, cleaning things up, and you have access to the V-Star power, definitely wouldn't hate that, because it does have a little bit more reach than the Decidueye in terms of 1-hit knockouts and like setting up knockouts and things like that. So yeah, 2 copies of Choice Belt, 1 copy of Energy Retrieval, so another way to get back our energy. 1 copy of Air Balloon. This is something I definitely want a second. I definitely do want a second Air Balloon because they have another pivot for your Zapdos, which is definitely going to be mandatory if you want to get a surprise Zapdos down without having to like bench it before and have to energy in your hand, all this stuff. You can just Air Balloon and then surprise bench it at the exact point that you're going to want it or need it. So I definitely do want a second Air Balloon. Stadiums, 3 copies of Training Court as well to get back our energies along with the Clara and the Energy Retrieval, which should have a sufficient amount of ways to get back enough energy. Like, you don't always have to discard 3 energy. Sometimes you only have to discard 2. Sometimes you only have to discard 1. Sometimes you have to discard 0 energies to get where you need to go in terms of knockouts and damage. So, you don't need a full 4 training core. You don't need a full 4 energy retrieval or Clara or anything like that. But I think the combo of Clara and energy retrieval and training core we have will be sufficient. 3 copies of double turbo energy, which is something I definitely want a 4th of. Don't know what to cut because I like the counts in this list mainly. There's not much I really want to cut, honestly, for the 4th double turbo. You might be able to cut up basic energy, which we run 10 basic energies. You might be able to cut a basic energy if you want. But yeah, for that 4th double turbo, I think that's really good because it does allow you to pay that attack on the Hiusian Decidueye V-Star for just 2 energy attachments, which is nice. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. I definitely think this deck is not gonna be like tier 1 meta. It's gonna rely a lot on Roxanne and Zapdos. It's definitely gonna be a interesting anti-meta deck / just kind of annoying in general deck. But I think it is something to keep your eye on if it does go somewhere, potentially in Japan when these cards release. I believe next week on Brilliant Stars, these cards come out in Japan. So it's definitely something to keep a watch out for. And this is something I forgot to mention, but using this Decidueye as a fighting type, which definitely is going to be nice versus all the Arceus that will be coming out pretty soon here. Looks like from Japan tournaments, going to kind of be dominating with an Arceus being put into a lot of different decks. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. Let's scoot this a little bit towards here to get it more in the middle of the screen. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to leave a like. If you guys want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely going to be hopefully covering Samurott V-Star, Hiusian Samurott V-Star. Don't know the best way to play it, either straight or with a turn. We'll have to figure that one out. But yeah, that's it for the video on Hiusian Decidueye. Definitely not a great deck, but definitely something to keep your eye on. And I will see you guys in the next one.